I'm getting started on the next project here at Pufferfish Villas. We are going to set up a little mini store here in the Lavanderia, and then we're going to sell the stuff that people need while they're staying here. So besides our merch, like getting our shirts in here and maybe getting some sweatshirts or other stuff that people do like to buy, and we want to get that out here so it's easier, because right now we just have it in our book and not that many people ask about it. I think a lot more people would be interested in the merchandise if it was out where they could see it, try the shirt on, and then decide if they wanted it. We are going to take out the dishwasher, take it back up and store it for now up at the villas. We'll see what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna put in a little mini store on this side with, we have a beverage refrigerator. I brought it down, but we have this beverage refrigerator that we've had for a long time. We brought it from California with us and don't really use it, haven't used it. And we're gonna have a little, some shelves here. And then on the other side, we're gonna move all of this junk out of here and put it in the back room. And we're gonna build, I'm gonna build a rack here to put all our merch on, all our shirts and anything else that we have for merch here. I'm moving along on our little micro tienda, our little miniature store we're gonna have. And I'm building the cabinets that are gonna go down into the laundry room. And the first step is to make up the plan. So I have a plan of the 3 sections of shelving here with all the shelves that will go in them. I'm using 3/4 inch plywood for the sides because it's fairly tall. And then I will use 1/2 inch for all the shelves and all the horizontal portions. And luckily I have all the plywood that I need for this entire project in scrap wood. This is scrap from making the cabinets down in the Lavanderia, and so won't cost me anything to do this entire project. It's going to be completely free. All right, the next step is to sand all the edges and corners to get everything kind of smoothed off. Well, actually, not all the edges and corners. The edges and corners that are going to be in the front. Now, you don't want to sand the edges that are going to be on the sides because you want those to be rough, so the glue will soak into them and stick better. So all the front edges, we're going to sand down and get ready to glue these pieces up. And you can see that this puts a very smooth, rounded edge on the front, what will be the front of the shelf. This will be the top of the shelf. I sanded that all off. We're going to paint these, so they'll have a nice paint coating on them, and they'll be nice and smooth so stuff doesn't catch. If we put like shirts or something like that onto these shelves, they aren't going to catch on the edge. And then, like I said, the other sides you leave rough so that you can glue them up. I got the first batch of pieces done, nice and all smoothed off and sanded. So that's all the shelves and the top for the middle section. And I just wanted to mention that this is why we moved to Baja, right here. There it is, the sun. It is December 30th. I am sweating in the sun, not freezing to death in the cold, wet, dark rain of the Pacific Northwest. It is 80 degrees, the low is 59, and that is why we moved to Laredo. That, to me, is the perfect weather. In fact, it could be a little hot. So, a couple days this week it's supposed to be 82, 83. That's about primo perfect for a high. 59, 60 is perfect for a low. This is like the most perfect weather on the planet right now, and it's December 30th. Tomorrow is December 31st, the last day of the year. I love it. I hated the Pacific Northwest weather in the winter, the gray and the dark and the rain and the cold. And some people like that, but I'm an outdoorsy person. If you like to sit inside the house with the shade shut, maybe you like when it's rainy and cold outside. But I'm the type of person that likes to get up in the morning, come outside every single day, and I'm outside all day long. I want to be outside from dawn to dusk. And that's one reason I wasn't really happy in a desk job in a corporation, because it just killed me sitting inside all day long. And now that I can get outside, it doesn't matter. If I was hammering rocks all day, as long as I'm outside in the sun, it's way better than sitting in a chair at a computer. I can tell you that, at least for me. So this is my heaven, and I'm so glad that we made the move down here so I could be in an environment that I really love. So one thing you might be wondering is, why am I working out here in the gravel in front of my shop when I've got a big shop here and I could be working inside? So I'll show you the reason right here. This is a multi-use shop, meaning it's got woodworking tools in here. I also do welding. I also do mechanic work or mechanical type work and all that. And I also have a ton of stuff stored in here. So what happens if you do woodworking inside? Well, if you do woodworking inside, it creates a massive amount of very fine dust. Now, you can get dust collectors, dust collecting systems. You could spend thousands, tens of thousands of dollars with all these dust collecting systems and everything else. And even I used to have a whole shop set up like that. I had a shop, it was about 4,000 square foot, free span, 10.5-foot ceilings, and it was all dedicated to a woodworking shop. And I had all of the dust collection, built-in dust collection. I had air cleaner. I had everything. Everything still gets covered with dust. Can you hear Leo? Living next to a donkey. Never know when you're going to get the hee-haw. All right, well, I got all of the pieces here cut, sanded, all the edges that need to be sanded off. Now there is some filling that needs to be done. It always is with plywood, because there's voids in the edge of the plywood, and so all these voids will have to be filled, or they will show really bad because they're going to be on the front, on the face frame of the cabinet. So I will fill all those with wood filler, but I'm going to assemble the cabinet first and put everything together. Then I will do the final wood fill, because may end up with other things that I end up having to fill after I assemble it. A lot of the hard work done today. It's getting late, so I've cleaned everything up, and I'm going to come back at this tomorrow, which is New Year's Eve, and hopefully I can get this done before the new year. Well, I don't know if I'll get it painted, but at least hopefully I can get it built and puttied and all that before New Year's Eve. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's the second day on the project of building our mini tienda, the Pufferfish Villas mini store here. I'm getting started with the assembly of my shelving unit, and I'm going to put some dowels in certain places. So this is where this, let me grab it here. This board is going to meet that at a butt joint, which is what they call this here. And to strengthen that joint, since I'm just going to glue this up and nail it, I want to strengthen it a little more, so I'm going to put some dowels into here, which will strengthen this joint. All right, I got the entire cabinet frame put together, and now I need to flip it over onto the front so I can put it back on it, because it's still going to be pretty wobbly here without the back on it to hold it. Now I got this tacked on here most of the way, and now I'm going to cut it off along the top edge here, and then I can tack the top edge in and it'll be good to go. So I'm going to use the oscillating saw. Awesome saw, but very, very loud. But it's probably the most useful saw you can have, especially for remodeling, but also for doing furniture and stuff. The next step is to fill all the little gaps in the plywood that are going to show up. And things like this, where there's a void in the plywood there, that needs to be filled. Now, I had a consultation with my designer, Esperanza, and we decided that, well, we didn't decide. Esperanza is the designer, I'm the construction person. So I make decisions on construction items. Esperanza makes decisions on the design items. And we had a conflict here. I wanted to paint this white. Esperanza thought it should be stained with the dark stain that we used on the cabinets down in the villas. Esperanza wins on design. She is the decider for that. So we are going with the dark stain. And we definitely need to fill all these voids or it will look kind of cruddy. This material here, it's called Resalac. Now Sawyer, I don't know if you say it like that in Espanol. It's Sawyer. Sawyer is a very good brand. It's a common brand for kind of all types of paints and woodworking things. So this is a wood putty. It's very important to use a wood putty if you're going to stain, because this is stainable. This is basically wood mixed with a little tiny bit of glue. And it's so they take sawdust, mix it with a little bit of glue. You can make it yourself with your own sawdust, but it's work. And this is already mixed up. So you get this wood putty and then just work it into the crack. Now this is a little darker, but it's close to what the stain will be. So this will be a little bit darker spot probably when you stain it, but that's okay. So you want to fill it, make sure it gets in there. It wants to pull back out, so you want to make it a little thicker. There, we got the good stuff. So you can see there, I do it, make it a little bit thicker, leave a little bit extra. Totally fine, because this will sand right out with the sander. I wanted to correct myself first, because this is called Resanalac, not Resinlac. And it's a Resanador para Madera, or resin for wood, base agua, base agua, water-based. So this is a water-based wood putty. So it's the next morning, and I got all the filling done. You can see here that all of the sections have been filled in where there was voids. And now I have everything cleaned off and set out here ready to stain. And I've got all the shelves out here. This is a lot of work, a lot of staining. If the Rhino was working, this would be a much easier job, but the Rhino is not working. So we're gonna try this. It's super exciting because we're going down to set up the store. I got the shelves put in this morning. Esperanza set up all the shirts. Really cool. You're gonna see. It's gonna be awesome. Esperanza's stocking our Pufferfish Villas t-shirts I'm wearing today. And then the back. Can't exactly video the back, kind of, but Esperanza could. Here, Esperanza. Video the back real quick.
Oh, wow. It's kind of hard to see with that gun show going on.
Awesome shirts. So for right now, we are just going to put the shirts in the store because we are taking a little trip up to the US. We're leaving in a couple days, and it's probably going to take a little bit of trial and error to figure out exactly what to stock in here, how to stock it, and then I've got to go through and find everything, get the prices, and do all that. So I don't want to try to get that all going and then we leave for a week and who knows what happens. Stuff runs out, then people might be calling us like, oh, there's no diet soda in here, and then or something. So I'm gonna wait till I get back from the trip. The Pufferfish Villas store is going to open in about 5 seconds. For Esperanza is our first employee. Well, she's the owner of the store, so.
Does that mean I get all the money?
Yes, of course.
Oh, wait, this one's not perfect.
Did you work at Forever 21?
No.
You didn't work at Forever 21? Because you're doing a good job.
Thanks.
And look at how Esperanza packaged these shirts. She rolled them all up so the Pufferfish Villas was showing. And so the tag is out so you can see the size of the shirt. So that is so cool. This looks so awesome. I'm so excited about our little store. So I'm getting ready to open our mini Mercado, our Pufferfish Villas mini Mercado. By the way, I got this hat from some guests that just left the other day. Thank you so much for the hats. One for me and one for Esperanza. They're really cool. So thanks for that. Now, Esperanza's still gone. I went out shopping all morning and got everything for the mini Mercado. We've got tons of stuff. I had some of it in here because I had to get it into the spreadsheet. Got the entire back of the truck loaded up with stuff. The 4Runner, and I'm going to print up this price list and go down and stock up the store. I made it down here to the store right here, and here is my stuff. There is so much stuff piled in here. So let's get to work stocking the store. The Pufferfish Villas mini Mercado is finally ready to go. So I got everything stocked into our store here, and I'll show you all the stuff and what we put in here. Of course, we still have the shirts. We have medical supplies. We have some toothbrush and toothpaste if you need that. Breakfast stuff. Some candy bars. Lots of different candy bars. Some popcorn. Chips. Different kind of chips. And strawberry jam, because people always leave strawberry jam here for some reason. I'm not sure. And then we have Coca-Cola, Coca Light, which is Diet Coke, Sprite. Then we have a couple different kinds, 3 different kinds of Gatorade and Powerade here, in case you need to hydrate. Some Red Bull and a little bit of water, in case you want to take water with you. We have free water in the villas, so you can always use that, but some people would like to take a bottle of cold water with them. We've got that in here too. Now, you may have seen when I was unloading the car that I had some beer and wine and some liquor in there. Well, originally I was going to put this into the store, but then we found out that we need a liquor license, even here at the villas, where we only have 2 guests that could possibly do this and we're not open to the public, it still would require a liquor license to sell any alcohol. So we are not selling any alcohol. There's no alcohol in the store. We always do everything by the rules. So until we can find out about a liquor license and possibly about getting one, which I don't think will be viable for this, because the amount of alcohol that we would sell here would be so tiny, and a liquor license, I've heard, is fairly expensive, several $1,000s a year. So we would never sell several $1,000s a year worth of alcohol, so it would be totally worthless to get a liquor license. So that probably won't happen. But we've got all the other cool stuff you need, and this is the convenience for our guests and for us, because it gives us a little place where we can sell our merchandise. So I hope you enjoyed seeing us set up the store today. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and never forget to live before you die.